Okay, so first meal of the day, two of these chicken buns. Really nice, quite lean. I mean, there's barely any fat in it. I think 2 grams, maybe 3 grams. A little bit of sauce, spicy sauce. I'm going to wash that down with a decaf. No caffeine today, it's not a training day. Eat more food than usual, so there's just no need for that. I'm going to be quite disciplined. And leave that out. I've got a little bit of vanilla extract in it and some honey. It really makes it taste very nice. I'm just going to chill out for a bit and watch some Black Cauldron, an 80s animated film. Brings back some good memories. I've got really diverse taste of like films and series and stuff, like all sorts. So yep, that's how my Sunday morning is going to go down. So going to enjoy it. So just about to sit down for my first big meal of the day. We've got some Thai food, som tam and which is papaya salad, sticky rice and some chicken soup. So really looking forward to that. I've got some kebabs for later as well, chicken, prawn, tomato, pita and veg. So while I wait for that to be prepped, I thought I'd just touch on a subject that's kind of cropped up a little bit over the last few weeks, and that's how does it feel to be really lean? What does it feel like? Oh Ross, you look great, you must feel amazing. You know, there comes a point in time when it transitions from a pleasurable experience to something that is hell on earth at times, and not very enjoyable and very difficult to adhere to. It's not easy. If you think doing a competition prep's easy, you're in cloud cuckoo land. It's just not easy. It doesn't matter how you diet, whether it's slow, it's over a long period of time, it's fast, you're on keto, you're high carb, you're low carb. At some point, it's going to kick you up the arse and you're going to feel pretty rough. You know, you may be in a situation where you might get a little bit dizzy here and there. You might be struggling to get your words out and think straight. You know, the training sucks, obviously. There's no way you can maintain anywhere near the levels of strength you built up during the bulk. And you're hungry and very lethargic. Very lethargic. Almost to the level where talking and walking is difficult. Comes in peaks and troughs, not every day's like that, but at some point you're going to feel like that. Got camera run out of battery there, so apologise for the angle, just charging. But yeah, it'd be a lot easier for me to maintain this level of body fat. All I'd need to do would be up the calories by 400 or 500, a little bit more carbs, a little bit more fat, maybe just reining the cardio just a tad, and I'd feel very good and quite happily be able to maintain this body fat. Not saying that it's a good idea and I think that I would want to, but it could be done. For sure. The problem with contest prep and time pressure diets is that there's the pressure's on. You've got to keep losing body fat, so you never quite get to sit back and actually enjoy your newfound levels of leanness. You're just pushing for more all the time, and because you're pushing for more all the time, you're constantly experiencing those ill effects of being in that deficit and having that extreme lean conditioning. So yeah, it's not easy for sure, but it's well worth it. There are a lot of positives that can come out of it. You'll come out a better person. Character building is fantastic. The mental toughness that you can build up from something like this is brilliant. And there's no level of suffering and discomfort that I'm not willing to endure to get the result that I want, and do well in these competitions. So I'm going to give it my all. Just thought I'd give you an insight into kind of what it's like to do a competition prep, and it's certainly no walk in the park, and if you think it is, you've got another thing coming. Look at this. This is the meal I've been waiting for. Sticky rice, som tam, and some nice chicken soup there. Probably won't have much of the chicken there. I'll have my own chicken, but I'll have the broth, some veg. So I'm going to absolutely demolish this. Super hungry. That really hit the spot. That was delicious. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Food never tastes as good as when you're on a diet or after a diet. It just tastes spectacular. It resensitises your taste buds. Even simple food starts to taste really good. Foods that you wouldn't really consider as being that tasty. You kind of take them for granted, your staples. Even foods like just chicken and rice, sticky rice there I had. Really hits a spot. And even just a diet, just to experience that, to get that kind of heightened feel-good factor is worth it alone. Kind of puts it all in perspective. It's how amazing some of the products that we have, the food produce, it's just incredible. But there's a big difference between being hungry and slightly peckish. Most people say they're hungry, they're starving hungry. They're not. You know, it's just habitually kind of getting used to eating at certain times and, you know, building up those habits over time, really, that kind of just, you know, reminds you to eat. And, oh yeah, about time to eat now, I'm hungry. There's a big difference between that and truly being hungry. You almost feel like a ravenous beast when the food's laid in front of you. I could dip my head down and just eat out of a trough at times. That's how it feels. And there are people out there in the world that don't have the choice and legitimately feel like that through no fault of their own. So you'd be a fool to complain about it. You know, if you embark on this journey, it's a luxury to have that choice. And that's important to remember. And I think through dieting and forcing yourself to go through that, it puts it all in perspective and makes you appreciate it a little bit more. Think, you know, hang on a minute. When you hear people moaning about something, you know, oh, I wasn't able to do this, or I wasn't able to eat this, or, oh, that's just a bit, you know, don't fancy that. It really just becomes all so silly when you look at the bigger picture. And yeah, through dieting, it kind of, you just become more aware of that, you know. So yeah, going to move on to dinner a little bit later. I've got some kebabs, nice homemade kebabs, chicken, tomato, pitta, and I'll add some sauerkraut with some very light mayo, some chili sauce and lettuce to make like a salad to put on top. That'll be lovely. Probably have a couple of Pop-Tarts. Still sticking to high carbs. Fat and protein don't really change. Typically standard, and the extra calories coming in today is just on carbohydrates. About 500 grams today, and that will put me in good stead for tomorrow. It will kind of ease off the ill effects of the diet for a day or day and a half, maybe even 2 days. And then it'll kick in again towards midweek to end week. I'll start probably feeling really fatigued again. Probably look my absolute sharpest on the Wednesday, which indication for me, you know, playing around with these refeeds as I am, that for me personally, probably look my best a couple of days after the refeed at the moment with the amount that I'm having. Probably need to lower that slightly to get the effects I wanted after a day, but still plenty of time to experiment and to kind of see exactly how the food that I'm consuming affects my look. So I'll go into that in another video perhaps. But yeah, going to chill out for a bit now. Catch you on the next one. Okay, so this is dinner. Looks like a bit of a mess really, but it's going to taste delicious. So I've got about 175 grams of chicken breast that I cooked on a skewer, kind of barbecue style, yesterday. Some seasoning on there, and then 2 pita breads under the veg with 10 prawns, and then some sauerkraut for like a tangy sort of pickly taste. It's pickled cabbage, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, nice and light mayo, and some Nando's garlic sauce. So that's going to go down a treat. Really going to enjoy that. Felt absolutely blasted after lunch, which sometimes happens when you're on a diet and you have like a big meal, bigger than usual. Perhaps you're going to feel very sleepy. So had a bit of a kip kind of late afternoon. My sleep's not been great this week at all, not enough. It's just nice to catch up a little bit. But yeah, it's quite funny, you think about food all the time, and then when you eat a meal, all you want to do is go to sleep. So it's a bit weird, but I'm going to enjoy this. Then I've got some carb foods later on. Probably do some Cocoa Pops, some fruit bread with a bit of jam. So yeah, real, carb rich foods ready for tomorrow. Okay, so last meal of the day, got some fruit toast with just a little bit of jam on. Delicious. And then some Cocoa Pops with water to finish up. So yeah, really high carb meal to finish. I'm going to enjoy this. Been a good day of eating. Back on the grind tomorrow, lads. Yeah, how do you feel about the bottom stuff?
Yeah, great. Yeah, I mean, that was flex as well. There was no definition at all. It was just literally pools of water. Should have seen the fucking stuff I was eating out there. So I just had a little bit of food pre-training, which I like to have some carbohydrates. So the majority of my carbs prior and straight after my weight sessions, I'll rather kind of go without later on. I like to train with a full stomach. I think that's something that really, really helps when you're on a cut. Definitely don't want to be going in sessions hungry. So that's something you definitely should consider. So I had a big meal earlier, plenty of carbs. Another high carb snacks, we had protein bar, I had a Pop-Tart, 5 sweets. So I'm good and ready with a coffee. And then straight after I have another carb-based meal, some couscous, chicken, and then later on I'll probably have some beef jerky or chicken breast with some veg. So yeah, it's going to be a hard session, feeling great, obviously refeed yesterday, so loads of energy. Probably won't feel hungry now until really late tonight or tomorrow, and then it will kick in hard again, back on the grind. Here we go then, mate. Good, 1. Good, 2. Go on then, mate. Let's go. Good, 3. 4. Yep. Nice and strong. Power. Good. 1. Everyone like that now. We're down with power. Good. 2. Let's work. Let's go. Yeah, you're fine. 3. Good, boss. Let's go. Yeah, all you, mate. Get it. 4. Right, we'll do with you now. Let's go. Good. 5. Fingertips on it, mate. 6. 2 more. 2 more. Let's go. Get 8. Nice. And again. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, easy mate, 11,
Yes, Ross. 12, 13, 14, 15, come on, easy, keep going. 16, and again. 17, and again. 18, 2 more. Good, last one. Good. Come on. 10, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more at least. Good, and again then. One more. Let's go. Squeeze. Nice and big. Let's go. Nice. Savage.
Cool, turn to the right. Cool, turn to the right. Turn to the right. Cool, turn to the right.
Much better.
Looking good, mate, looking sharp.
Coming back.
Coming back to the back. Front lat. Side try. Side chest. Back double bite.
Ah.
You right?
Cramp in the back.
Back lat. Amplify.
most muscular.
Alright, so that's leg training done. Pretty happy with how the session went. It's a fairly simple protocol. First 4 main exercises are heavy. The first one I chose was the front squat on the Smith machine. It's a little bit more stability there. I didn't really want the back squats in the routine anymore, especially not with a barbell. Just not sturdy enough. Lost too much weight now, it just feels so fragile. Plus it was causing a lot of jip on my hips. And I haven't done it for the last couple of weeks. I kind of chose different exercises because of that, and I don't want to go back to them now, even with the hips being just a little bit better, because I know the weight will have gone down and that will just kind of mess me up mentally. So I'd rather change the exercise and stay more positive, get a good stimulus on that. So it was a heavy set, 5 reps. I'll try and ride that out for a couple of weeks, see how it goes. Next one was RDLs at a deficit, great for the hamstrings, felt really good. And again, that's another exercise that can take a big hit, feels so weak, so flimsy. You just got no meat around the midsection. The hips, the knee joint, everything feels so fragile. And then after that, leg press, pleased with that. I have to put my feet position a little bit higher, because the lower it is, obviously the more quad dominant it is, and the more it kind of just hurts the hips on that particular leg press machine. So yeah, kind of feel that in the hamstrings, the glutes a little bit more because of the foot placement, but pleased with how it went. And then moved on to the pendulum. Again, that's a massive quad dominant movement, but it does feel a lot smoother than the leg press because of the angle, the trajectory, you're going down, up. Really recommend that exercise. Nice hard set there. And then we did 3 supersets, extensions and hamstring curls on the last set. Went perhaps 2 or 3 reps beyond failure. So great session. Finished off with calves, just 1 set, 15 reps at about 90k, nice and heavy. And then we just did some posing rounds. Posing's obviously always hard first thing in the morning, especially on those low days when you haven't had much food the day before, and then after training, especially after legs. My whole body's kind of quivering, I feel very fatigued. It's hard to hit those leg shots. And you'll see, by the video that the legs don't really look that impressive. They're kind of swollen. The light doesn't hit the legs either here. It's all on the upper torso, which is kind of where you don't want it after a leg session, because there's no pump obviously. But yeah, pleased with how I look. Definitely lost a lot of body fat last week. I really dug in deep and grinded through some really low calorie days just to stay on top of it. Great refeed day yesterday, as you saw, and feeling good today. Great energy during today's session. Going to do some cardio now, get that out of the way, and I'll probably do a little bit more cardio later tonight on my treadmill at home. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video clip. So a quick little conditioning check, and just before I do my cardio, just to kind of show you what it looked like close up. Pulled the exposure down a little bit. There's a lot of this detail you don't actually pick up when you've got fair skin. So it's coming in, getting a lot crisper. That's without a pump. Starting to get a lot more feathering coming in. So yeah, pleased with how I'm looking. Eager to push on to new levels now. Let's get this cardio done, get it out of the way. Alright, get my cardio done now. Probably do about an hour and then go home, get some food. Mostly just protein and veg now for the rest of the day. My next big carb meal will be tomorrow morning. Still feeling good. Today won't be a problem, so I have that residual energy from the refeed. So yeah, get it done, grind it out. Okay, so back home, ready for lunch. This will be my post-workout meal. Very simple today. As I said, I've had most of my carbs already, which I typically wouldn't do, but post-refeed, kind of feeling quite good. Energy's not going to be that much of an issue today. So I've got chicken breast, lettuce, a bit of sauerkraut, some nano sauce, tomatoes, lighter than light mayo, and I've got some bamboo soup as well, which is very low calorie, barely anything in that, and then some vitamin C. Just turn that around. Yeah, so very light, really, and that's it for today. I'll get some beef jerky. I'll just show you that now. Beef jerky for later. So yeah, this is what I'll have later, and that will see me through for today. And then much the same tomorrow. Obviously, with each passing day, it kind of gets a little bit harder post refeed. So tomorrow I'll be feeling probably a little bit more hungry. Energy will be just a little bit lower. The next day be a bit worse, and so on and so on. You know, usually by Friday, Saturday, feeling pretty rough indeed. Now I could insert maybe a higher day in the middle of the week somewhere, and that would kind of, you know, help a little bit. But at the moment, for the time being, I'm just going to run straight through low days and just keep it simple. Have a refeed over the weekend. Feeling good, you know, can deal with that. So a slightly easier session as well at the end of the week. It's shoulders and arms, so I think that works out well. Now switch the legs to the Monday session. So, you know, post kind of refeed, whether the refeed is Friday, Saturday or Sunday, it's going to help out a little bit. So yeah, that's pretty much how the week's going to go. What I'll do now, I'll sit down and eat that and then get on with some more work. So catch you later.